All right, thank you. Welcome back, everybody. And thank you for those who are joining us online as well on Zoom and YouTube. I know there are some people there, and good to see everyone back from the tea break. We're just going to kick off the program, which is the second part of the security track, the first in APNIC security track. My name is Adli. I'm from APNIC, and I'll be moderating this session. We have 3 speakers in this particular session, CERT Tonga, CERT Philippines, and also Kaspersky, who will be presenting remotely. So please stay until the end, and feel free to ask questions or give feedback to the speakers after their presentation. So without further ado, I would like to invite the first presenter, a good friend of mine, Esau from CERT Tonga, to deliver his presentation. Let's give him a warm welcome, everybody.
Thank you very much, Adli. Before I start, may I ask the lovely technical team to play the short video, please.
Information and communication sectors in Tonga have developed significantly over the years, but the vulnerabilities to ICT-related incidents also increased. Tonga have come a long way in developing its ICT sector to where it is today. Since the arrival of the fiber optic cable in 2013, Tonga's internet penetration rate rose rapidly. Despite this development, Tonga's vulnerability to incidents such as hacking, identity theft, phishing, virus, and scams increased. To combat and reduce those vulnerabilities and criminalize the misuse of computers, mobile phones, and internet, the Tongan government established Tonga National Computer Emergency Response Team to address and respond to computer incidents, raise awareness, and build-in capacity of ICT personnel. The Prime Minister of Tonga at the time, Honorable Samuel Akilisi Bohiva, launched CERT Tonga in July 2016 under the Ministry of MADAC with a vision to build a safe and secure digital environment for the Kingdom of Tonga and its citizens. Its mission is to coordinate and collaborate amongst the stakeholders to prevent through public awareness, detect, and manage cyber threats in the Kingdom of Tonga. The roles of CERT Tonga include the operations of CERT Tonga is guided by CERT.TO board, consists of MADAC, Attorney General's Office, Tonga Cable Limited, Tonga Communications Corporation, Digital Tonga Limited, Tonga Chamber of Commerce, National Reserve Bank of Tonga, Tonga Civil Society, and Tonga Police. CERT Tonga also engaged with domestic, regional, and international stakeholders. Since its inception, CERT Tonga has made its mark in the Pacific region. It became the first national CERT to be established in the Pacific, the first in the region to be a party to the Budapest Convention, as well as the first from the Pacific to become an operational member of the Asia-Pacific Computer Emergency Response Team.
All right, and I believe that pretty much sum up my presentation, if you have any questions. No, sorry. First of all, I must acknowledge Adli as well as Clay and APNIC for giving me this opportunity to represent CERT Tonga and the government of Tonga, as well as I'm here with my countrymen from each of the sectors, the Ministry of Health, service providers, the Tonga Women in ICT. The Director for Digital Transformation was here earlier, and he has already returned back, as well as the CEO for the Tonga National University. So this is just another CERT. Nothing special about CERT Tonga, it's just another CERT in the Pacific, and I must congratulate the CERT Kiribati. It's good to see more CERTs coming up in the South Pacific region. So if you've seen in the video, the whole idea with the origin of CERT Tonga, with the fiber cable, fast internet, everything, there was the need for something to handle the challenges that arise from cybersecurity issues. I will cover here the vision and mission of Set Tonga, as well as the our reviewed organizational structure. When I first take up this job, it's only been 2 years now. Set Tonga has been around for 7 years. It started out with, don't worry about being the free-man team. We've been free-man team since the origin of Set Tonga. So I think it's pretty common for us in the Pacific. So it's always been free-man team. And I was the next third person in the team. There was only just 2 divisions. One division with our security analyst was doing the technical, and the other division was our senior engagement officer doing the engagement. And then we have to do other tasks within that small organization. And I will also talk about the current projects that we are working with, and some priorities and some other urgent needs with new initiatives and our key stakeholders. So our mission is a safe and secure digital environment for the Kingdom of Tonga and its citizens. So that's what we're hoping for, and we're still striving to achieve that vision. Our mission is to coordinate and collaborate among stakeholders to prevent, through public awareness, detect and manage threats in the Kingdom of Tonga. So as I mentioned before, so the original organization structure was just like a Venn diagram with the 2 divisions, and the director was caught in the middle. So I have to make sure that I deconflicted, so that every time when one of the 3-man team goes somewhere, that I'm not the only one who's completing the rest of the team. So we tried to create a 3 division, which is the governance, risk management and compliance, the digital forensic and incident response division, a communication awareness and engagement. And the other divisions are just some loose end within the ministry that I mentioned before, the ministry with everything, where they had the information department, and there was some other transition in this ministry, and there was some stuff left over there, the media division. So I took up those people to include to my 3-man team, because I found that people are useful, and you will always have use for people, no matter what their capabilities. So there were some members from that media division, so I used them since last year. And then with the assistance of SED New Zealand, with the cybersecurity workforce development program, they donated a grant, so we managed to leverage our understaffed with contracted staff. So we contracted 5 internship, and that really assists us. So as you can see, only in the blue are the established staff. So myself, our senior engagement officer, which is currently doing a scholarship in Australia, and our security analyst, and the others are just sort of like assisting us. But we're hopefully in the future we'll get something close to this full strength. The current projects that Set Tonga is working with, as I mentioned before, the cybersecurity workforce development program assisted by SED New Zealand. This started from 2021. We're doing the final term now until next year. This project started with 2 tracks. One track was for the operational track, where we have people as secondment from other backgrounds or from private sectors that we can use them assist us, and then after their contract, then they can go back to their work. And also the educational track, where we have fresh graduates like diploma students or Form 7 that they haven't had any work experience, so they can come in and work with Set Tonga, be part of the trainings, the awareness, and gain some working experience, as well as develop their qualifications from the trainings and all the programs that we do. The second project is the digital child exploitation filtering system. As part of the signing the Budapest Convention, battling the child sexual abuse material, or CSM. Tonga government asked the New Zealand government to extend the DCEF, or the Digital Child Exploitation Filtering System, which is under the New Zealand Department of Internal Affairs. They configure the United Service providers to filter out any sort of like attempt to access these sensitive materials online that has to do with exploiting young children and sexual material about children. It is also part of the Communication Act, so that's the only act that we use. There hasn't been any act for cybersecurity as well as for Set Tonga, but we use the Communication Act that it is mandatory to filter child explicit material by the internet service providers. And the last project is the Global Action on Cybercrime Enhanced project. So ever since the Tonga has signed up for the Budapest Convention, Tonga has been part of this Global Action on Cybercrime. It started out as CLACY, and then CLACY Plus, which is Global Action on Cybercrime, we've extended, and now it's Global Action on Cybercrime Enhanced project. And they have, the Council of Europe has selected Tonga to be the Pacific hub country in the Pacific region, and one of the hub countries. And since CERT is under MATEC, and sort of like CERT is doing the secretariat work for MATEC. So these programs usually work in the region for training prosecutors, law enforcement, as well as cybersecurity on handling electronic evidence. Some urgent and priority needs for CERT Tonga. We're hoping that maybe in the future, since we have so many in-country training with some of the cyber experts and cyber agencies overseas, we're hoping that we can develop a training that will have a formal certification for cybersecurity. So when they work under CERT and when they decide to leave, they'll be certified in some with some kind of cybersecurity certification. Capacity building and capability development, we still need some equipment. We can use all that we can have based on our budget, because we are under this ministry with everything, and we are the smallest department in that ministries. Again, the staff is always an issue, but we always improvise to get things working. And also to develop our digital forensic and incident response team. That's one of our mandatory to assist our law enforcement, our Tongan police, when they request for digital forensic analysis. Even though our new police commissioner wants the Tonga police to develop a small cybercrime unit, but they still send their requests for digital forensic stuff to CERT Tonga. And threat detection and threat intelligence system to alert the organization and stakeholders in Tonga. It's part of our proactive services. Even though we use open source reports like from Zero Server, those are really useful. But we are hoping in the future that we will have a first-hand reports or data collected in Tonga. Secondment arrangement is an exchange program. We receive invitation from CERT New Zealand that they are offering for secondment program from CERT Tonga. We share this with the other government ministries in Tonga for people to be secondment to CERT New Zealand, and possibly in the future, somebody from the other CERT will be seconded to Tonga and vice versa. And one of the other issues that we face is that cyber incident is not reported at all, or reported when it happens to CERT Tonga. So we just found out from somebody that something happened to somebody and they try to sort it out themselves. So that's one of the issues that frustrates us. We're not trying to put down anybody or make a bad reputation for it, but we need to share that information, because maybe we can use those information to assist another agency or organization from happening the same thing to them. As I mentioned before, started out with a 3-man team since 2016, and with the assistance of the cyber workforce as a leverage for our understaff. New initiatives. I was happy to see the presentation from CERT Kiribati. Well done. You guys have lots of new acts. For us, CERT Tonga, we need to tidy up this. We're still working to have a national cybersecurity strategy. There hasn't been any, there's a cybersecurity bill still drafted, and some of the other bill. I know our Computer Crimes Act has been reviewed. That's sort of like the cybercrime version for Tonga. And the other as well has been reviewed as the Privacy and Data Protection Act is still under review. And possibly in the far future, if CERT Tonga stays, there might be the vision to build a Tonga Cybersecurity Center where the government will centralize all the intelligence agency, as well as making sure that we protect our private and public critical infrastructure, and possibly a security operating center. Other initiative which since we are under the Ministry of MATEC at the moment, we still need to assist the other department in this ministry, developing information security policies for the other departments, create a website for Maytech, and with email and all those sorts of stuff. So our key stakeholders, as mentioned in the video, the creation of CERT Tonga was under a CERT board, but before that, there was a cyber challenge task force created by our current Prime Minister. As soon as the fiber cables hit Tonga, this was the beginning of the deciding to form up a CERT. So this cyber challenge task force consisted of 3 working groups, which is the cyber safety, cyber crime, and cyber security. So this is just a rough of all the stakeholders. So cyber safety has been chaired by our Ministry of Internal Affairs, but this ministry has some other issues. They're also handling the seasonal workers as well as the disability and women and children. So possibly cyber safety and awareness not really on their list. So we still have to cover those as well. Cyber crime is mainly for our law enforcement and our prosecutor, the Attorney General's office. We work closely with them. And cybersecurity, not only other critical ministries and organizations in Tonga is responsible for cybersecurity and working together with CERT Tonga. So the Cyber Challenge Task Force is chaired by the Minister of Maytech, and the CERT board reports to the Cyber Challenge Task Force, and most of the members in the CERT board is the members of the Cyber Challenge Task Force. So our domestic stakeholders, basically the CERT Tonga board, the law enforcement Tonga Police, Ministry of Internal Affairs, Attorney General's office, some of the service providers like Digital, Tonga Cable, and now that we have a memorandum of understanding with Tonga Women in ICT, Tonga Communication Corporations, One Talk, and the National Reserve Bank, and as well as the other ministries in Tonga. Regional stakeholders, we are member of the PACSON, member of AB CERT. We have a bilateral relationship working with Australian cybersecurity as well as New Zealand. We have been working together with CERT Vanuatu, not directly, but we've been sharing information as well as collaboration virtually. I believe PNC CERT, we've came across them engaging in PACSON as well as APNIC and the Pacific Island Law Enforcement Officers Network. Our international stakeholders is we've been a fellow of FIRST. This is our last term as being a fellow, so we really have to make the decision to be whether to become a member of FIRST. We've been working closely with the Council of Europe ever since the signing of the Budapest Convention and being the part of the GLACY project, Foreign Commonwealth, Get Safe Online. We have just been a member of the Global Forum on Cyber Expert, or GFCE, and also ICANN. So the CEO of the Ministry of Maytech is the Government Advisory Committee National Representative for Tonga, and he has tasked us CERT as the alternative GAG. And last year, the Ministry of Maytech has just signed up a memorandum of understanding with the Cybersecurity Council of UAE. So yet we will see what will bring out of that agreement. So to sum up my presentation, as I mentioned before, I'm pretty much passionate about the principle of defense, and these are the key principles of defense I use when working in CERT: the mutual support, the all-round defense, and the depth. Mutual support is pretty much a loosely multi-stakeholder approach. As I know that CERT Tonga is small in numbers, we don't have much asset, we don't have much staff, but working together with the other stakeholders, making sure that we support each other. Who's watching your back, who is watching their back, and that way mutual support will really enhance your cybersecurity posture. All-round defense, making sure that every sectors of your security is maintained and manned, like 360. Like as I mentioned before, sometimes we disregard some areas or some organizations that we're not worried about them because there's not many people or not many assets there. For example, our most northern islands, there's some population, there's few Starlinks there to get connection with them, and we think that's not a threat for us. That's not a vulnerability point because it's at the furthest north. But then we've identified there's been some attempt through the IP of that Starlink terminal to penetrate the Tongan government networks, and the depth. But having those stakeholders, so you maintaining that engagement and that good working relationship with the domestic, the regional, as well as the global, you have more depth to your security. So there's more than one step towards you. They have to face your other friends overseas. They have to face your friends regionally, as well as your friends in your domestic area. So mutual support, all-round defense, and depth. And it's not, sorry. And that pretty much sums up my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Do we have any questions for Esau? Please, anybody? Any question for him? Okay, please come to the mic and state your name, please.
Hello everyone, my name is Jirayut Nedongkai. I'm a APNIC Fellows and I'm from Laos. And thank you for your wonderful presentations. I'm also working in cybersecurity in Laos. And for my questions, I want to ask about the situation in Tonga. For your many experience working in cybersecurity fields, what is like most significant challenges to working in cybersecurity in Tonga that different with the another country or another regions? Yes.
Thank you very much. I think I'll try to answer your question. So I've only taken up this role for 2 years, but I've been working as a computer administrator, like more like network security for 11 years. So coming to CERT Tonga, we identified some other issues that you're not normally came across. For instance, there was one time a report from overseas coming through our head of mission in the UK that there is a court order to put down some kind of website that is using the .to country code of Tonga, and then so they alerted the Tongan High Commissioner's office in the UK, from there to our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, from there to the Tongan Police, and through the Attorney General. So they sent the report, and at that stage, the Chief Secretary and the Secretary of Cabinet was also the acting CEO for the Ministry of Medex. So he just forwarded the report to CERT Tonga to have a look, what can we do about it. And then we identified that this report, thanks to Clay, so we saw the report and identified that this is probably a fishy fraud code, or it looks like genuine. And it looks like because they claim they are the German CERT, and they want to put down these 2 websites that using the country code of Tonga. So some issues like that arises, and we have not normally what we used to face, like scam, like phishing and all those. There's new ways for malicious activity. So for that court order, we check up with Clay in first to assist us if they can verify this with the German CERT, and then they did verify that these are not the actual CERT or the German CERT. And then we found out it's a fraud court order, as well as those impersonating to be the CERT of Germany. So that's one case. Another case, when we had the ransomware attack at the beginning of last year, so we were planning to do some training with CERT New Zealand. And then at the end of that weekend, we get a call from one of our national internet service providers saying that they have a ransomware attack. Like, this is only my 6th month being into this job, and there's this thing happening. So what do I do? So I start calling some people. I did even ask CERT New Zealand for some assistance. Yeah, they give us the more like the SOPs and the procedures for handling ransomware, like check whether they have backups, make sure you isolate, capture some evidence, and then all done. And the next thing, there's no data backup, and the service providers are starting to worry, because this is our national service provider. So the Tongan government asked Australia for assistance, and they sent some cyber expert to assist. So CERT Tonga we were doing our mission, which was coordinating the stakeholders to mitigate this cyber threat. And that really worked out well, because we were working together with this cyber expert team from Australia, as well as DFED and CERT New Zealand. So we form up a sort of like a national cybersecurity incident response team. to this incident. And again, when the Pacific Island Forum leaders meeting, that's a huge event for the Pacific Island. We were waiting to see what would Sir Tonga's role be. And then I thought that we were going to be part of the security sectors, but they didn't include cybersecurity as one of the paramount or security matters. And then again, the Tongan government asked Australia for assistance. And since Australia's new cybersecurity strategy is to use a cyber rapid team, which stands for Rapid Assistance from Pacific Incident and Disaster Team. In other words, Cyber Romeo Alpha Papa India Delta team. So this team came to Tonga. We form up. We work together to ensure that nothing happens during this Pacific Island Forum leaders meeting. So from my experience, just be prepared for anything. There'll be new threats and new challenges that you face other than just the normal ones. So you need to be sort of like be smart and look closely. Some stuff might not be recognized. Some stuff are not like normal, but just be prepared for it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Esa, for the presentation and answering the question. We don't have time for more questions, but Esa will be around until tomorrow. So if you want to ask him questions or get to know him better, so you can see him. Let's give him another round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you. So next up is Renyo Topacio from CERT PH. Let's give him a warm welcome as well while he's walking up to the stage. Clickers there. All right, floor is yours.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me here today, Adli and Clay. Today I'll be sharing with you an overview of the operations, how we respond to incident, and a snapshot of our current threat landscape in the Philippines. Before we begin, I would like to clarify an important point about the scope of my presentation. My role here is to provide information specifically related to CERT-PH. This includes our operations, data, incident responses, and other areas directly under the purview of CERT-PH. I will be sharing insights based solely on our activities and experiences within the team. However, I would like to emphasize that I do not speak on behalf of the Ministry, the DICT, Department of Information Communication Technology, or the Cybersecurity Bureau as a whole. My remarks will not cover policies, decisions, or initiatives beyond what directly involves CERT-PH. Everything I discuss today will be rooted in the data, information, and experiences of CERT-PH only. With that in mind, let's proceed to the main topic of my presentation, which focuses on the latest updates and developments within CERT-PH. Okay. Before we dive into today's presentation, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Renyo. Actually, my name is Reno Topacio, and you can call me Renyo. And I'm a seasoned cybersecurity professional with over 15 years of experience in network and systems administration and 8 years of experience in information security. I currently serve as the OIC of the Philippine National Computer Emergency Response Team and the lead of the National Security Operations Center under the Cybersecurity Bureau of the Department of Information and Communications Technology. My role as an OIC, I manage and supervise 4 critical sections within CERT-PH: the Incident Response Section, Threat Monitoring Information Sharing Section, and Vulnerability Assessment and Penetration Testing Section, as well as the National Security Operations Center. CERT-PH was established in 2017 as a dedicated division under the Cybersecurity Bureau of the Department of Information and Communications Technology. The creation of CERT-PH was formalized under the Department Circular 003 Series of 2020, reflecting the growing need for a specialized team to address the increasing cyber threats within the country. Our role within the Philippine government is critical as we are tasked with ensuring that our nation's cyberspace protected from both domestic and transnational threats. Since our establishment, we have been at the forefront of safeguarding national cybersecurity. CertPH is recognized by the Division of Software of the Software Engineering Institution, SEI, located in the Carnegie Mellon University. This affiliation underscores our commitment to aligning with global standards and best practices in cybersecurity. By being part of this esteemed network, we are continuously enhancing our capabilities and ensuring that we adopt the latest methodologies and responding to cyber incidents. This recognition also facilitates our collaboration with international partners, allowing us to share insights and strategies that strengthen our defense posture. CertPH is mandated to provide proactive government countermeasure to address and anticipate all domestic and transnational incidents that threaten the Philippine cyberspace. Our responsibilities extend beyond just reacting to incident. We take a proactive stance to identify and mitigate potential threats before they can cause harm. As the lead entity in this domain, we manage to oversee various government sectoral and organizational certs within the Philippines. This role is crucial in ensuring a coordinated and unified response to cyber threats across all sectors. In the following slides, I will delve into specific examples of how CertPH was responded to incident and an evolving threat landscape that we currently face in the Philippines. CertPH Frontline Services, our daily operation. First is the incident response. Our incident response team is the heart of our operations. This team is responsible for responding to and mitigating the impact of cyber incident as they occur, whether it's a data breach, malware outbreak, or a coordinated cyber attack. Our incident response team is always on standby to provide immediate assistance and containment. We work closely with affected entities to recover from incidents and to strengthen their defenses to prevent future occurrences. Second is the cyber threat monitoring and information sharing. Our cyber threat monitoring and information sharing team continuously monitors the threat landscape both domestically and internationally. They analyze emerging threats, identify potential risks, and share actionable intelligence with relevant stakeholders. This proactive approach allows us to anticipate threats before they materialize and enables other organizations to take preemptive measures to protect their systems. The third one is the vulnerability and penetration testing assessment. Our VAPT team plays a key role in identifying and addressing security weaknesses within the system's government agencies and critical infrastructure. Through rigorous testing, we identify vulnerabilities that could be exploited by attackers and provide recommendations for remediation. This service is vital, ensuring that our national digital infrastructure is robust and secure. The last one is the National Security Operations Center. Finally, our NSOC serves as the nerve center of our operation. The SOC is responsible for real-time monitoring, analysis, and coordination of the country's cybersecurity defense. It acts as a central hub where data from various sources is consolidated, allowing us to detect and respond to threats more efficiently. The SOC also coordinates with other security agencies to ensure a unified defense strategy across the nation. Together, these frontline services from the backbone of CertPH daily operations, enabling us to protect, defend the Philippine cyberspace effectively. CertPH services align with the first CCERT framework. Incident management, the CertPH handles detection, response, and remediation of incidents by coordinating with affected entities and restoring systems to a normal operation. The vulnerability management, we proactively identify and mitigate vulnerabilities through assessment, advisories, and remediation efforts with stakeholders. Event monitoring, CertPH NSOC monitors security events and gathers threat intelligence for real-time detection and prevention. Situational awareness, CertPH analyzes the Philippines threat landscape, providing reports, updates, and public advisories to keep stakeholders informed. And lastly, the knowledge transfer. We conduct training, provide technical support, and offer policy guidance to improve cybersecurity capabilities. In summary, CertPH alignment with the first CCERT framework ensures a comprehensive approach to safeguarding the nation's cybersecurity. The incident response. Incident response is a critical function within CertPH, and our approach is designed to ensure that cybersecurity incidents are handled swiftly and effectively. Let's break down the key components of our incident response section. Responding to and handling cybersecurity incidents. Our incident response team is tasked with responding to and managing cybersecurity incidents that are either reported to us by stakeholders or detected by our monitoring systems. When an incident occurs, we work closely with affected organizations to provide guidance and assistance throughout the remediation process. This involves identifying the root cause of the incident, containing its impact, and supporting the recovery of affected systems. Monitor and implementing the Information Security Incident Response Plan. We are also responsible for monitoring and the implementation of the Information Security Incident Response Plan across various organizations. Our goal is to ensure that every detected or reported incident is given immediately and appropriate action. By closely monitoring these plans, we help organizations adhere the best practices and incident management and minimize the potential damage caused by the security breaches. Continuous development of process and tools. To stay ahead of evolving threats, we are continuously developing and refining our process for detecting, reporting, assessing, and managing information security events. This includes implementing advanced tools, methodologies, and practices that enhance our ability to respond to incidents effectively. Our focus is creating a well-structured, agile incident response framework that can adapt to ever-changing cybersecurity landscape. These efforts ensure that CertPH remain capable of addressing the full spectrum of cybersecurity challenges from initial detection to final resolution, safeguarding the integrity of the Philippine cyberspace. Cyber threat monitoring, information sharing are fundamental components of our strategy to proactively defend against cyber threats. Here's how CertPH approaches these critical aspects of our operations. Data collection and analysis. Our team is dedicated to the continuous collection and analysis of data from a variety of public available sources and threat intelligence feeds. This data provides valuable insights into emerging cyber threats and vulnerabilities. Based on this analysis, we release daily cyber threat feeds and public security advisories. These advisories are crucial for stakeholders as they offer timely information and actionable steps to mitigate cybersecurity risk, helping to prevent potential incidents before they escalate. Collaboration with international and local stakeholders. Collaboration is key to effective cybersecurity. CertPH actively collaborates with both international and local stakeholders to develop and implement robust strategies for managing information security incident. By sharing intelligence, best practices, and resources, we enhance our collective ability to respond to threats. This collaborative approach ensures that we are not only protecting our own cyberspace, but also contributing to the global effort in securing digital infrastructure. The vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, or the VAPT section, are vital activities within CertPH, aimed at identifying and mitigating weaknesses in our digital infrastructure. Here's how we carry this crucial task. Conducting cybersecurity assessment. Our team conducts comprehensive cybersecurity assessment on network and online systems across various government agencies and critical infrastructure. The primary goal is to discover any existing vulnerabilities that could potentially be exploited by adversaries. Through this assessment, we simulate real-world attacks scenarios to understand the potential impact of such vulnerabilities. allowing us to prioritize remediation effort effectively. Monitoring and disseminating of CBE updates. In addition to active assessment, we continuously monitor the latest updates to the common vulnerabilities and exposures CBE database. This database catalogs publicly disclosed cybersecurity vulnerabilities. By staying on newly released and updated CVEs, we are able to quickly disseminate this information to stakeholders within the Cybersecurity Bureau. This proactive dissemination ensures that agencies are aware of potential threats and can take timely action to patch vulnerabilities. The National Security Operation Center is the nerve center of CERT-PH, cybersecurity operations. They have centralized detection, monitoring, and rapid response. The National SOC serves as the centralized facility dedicated to the detection, monitoring, and rapid response to securing incident across connected government agencies. By consolidating these functions in one hub, the SOC ensures that we can quickly identify and respond to threats, reducing the time it takes to mitigate potential damage. This centralization is crucial for maintaining a cohesive and efficient cybersecurity strategy across all priority agencies. Managing and administration of the SOC platform. Our team manages and administers the National SOC platform, which includes the deployment of advanced security tools such as endpoint detection and response, the EDR, extended detection and response, XDR, log collectors, and network monitoring tools. These technologies are essential for providing comprehensive visibility into the security posture of all the connected systems. By leveraging these tools, we can detect and respond to threats in real time, ensuring that our defenses remain robust and adaptive. Monitoring, detection, analysis, and remediation. The SOC is responsible for monitoring, detecting, analyzing, and remediating computer security incidents within the connected government agencies. Our team is constantly on the lookout for unusual activities or potential threats, conducting true analysis to determine the nature and severity of incidents. Once identified, we take swift actions to remediate the issues and share information about the incident with relevant stakeholders to prevent similar occurrences in the future. The National SOC's role is pivotal in ensuring the Philippine cybersecurity defense are not only reactive but also proactive, providing continuous protection against the wide range of cyber threats. CERT-PH approach on cyber incident threats vulnerabilities in the Philippines. In addressing the complex and evolving landscape of cybersecurity in the Philippines, CERT-PH employs a comprehensive national approach. Here's an overview how we tackle cyber incidents, threats, and vulnerabilities across the nation. CERT-PH receives reports and intelligence from a diverse range of sources, allowing us to maintain a comprehensive view of the cybersecurity landscape. Here's an overview of these critical inputs. Reported incidents by affected government agencies and private institutions. One of our primary sources of information comes directly from the affected government agencies and private institutions. These entities report incidents to CERT-PH, seeking our expertise in handling and mitigating the impact of cyber threats. By providing support and coordinating responses, we help these organizations recover from incident and strengthen their defenses. Monitored threat through our tools or OSINT and OSINT. Our team utilizes advanced tools along with open source intelligence, the OSINT, to monitor threats in real time. These tools enable us to detect suspicious activities, track emerging threats, and gather actionable intelligence. This proactive monitoring is essential for identifying potential risk before they escalated into full-blown incidents. The connected government agencies of the National SOC. The National SOC serves as a central point for incident reporting and connected government agencies. Through this platform, we receive continuous updates and alerts about potential security incident, allowing us to coordinate a rapid and effective response. The SOC also ensures that there is a seamless flow of information between agencies, which is a vital maintaining national cybersecurity. International collaboration with CERT, CSERT, and organizations. CERT-PH actively collaborates with international partners, including other CERTs, Computer Emergency Security Incident Response Teams, CSERTs, and organizations such as APCERT, FIRST, and GAMP. These partnerships allow us to share and receive critical threat intelligence, stay updated on global cybersecurity trends, and participate in joint efforts to combat cross-border cyber threats. Community contributions from white hat and gray hat hackers and some security researchers. We also valued the contributions from the cybersecurity community, including the white hat and gray hat hackers, as well as security researchers. These individuals often provide us with valuable insights, discovered vulnerabilities, and reports of potential threats. Their work help us to proactively address security issues and further reinforcers and overall security posture of the nation. By leveraging these diverse sources of information, CERT-PH is able to maintain a robust and dynamic approach to cybersecurity, ensuring that we are well equipped to respond and to manage the wide range threats facing the Philippines today. CERT-PH incident management process flow. The CERT-PH incident management process is a structured approach designed to effectively manage cybersecurity incidents, ensuring prompt response, effective mitigation, and seamless collaboration with relevant stakeholders. The incident sources. The process begins by receiving inputs from various sources: reported incidents, monitored incidents, national SOC, international collaboration partners, reported vulnerabilities, monitored vulnerabilities. After that, the validation and confirmation process will be the second. The goal is to verify the legitimacy of the event. If verified, an incident ticket is created and the event is thoroughly documented. If not verified, it is documented for reference and no further actions taken. Incident response procedure. Upon verification, CERT-PH may initiate an incident response procedure. This involves a rapid assessment of the incident impact and scope. The IR team coordinates with relevant external organization and stakeholders for comprehensive response. In cases where the situation demands, CERT-PH deploys an on-site incident response team at the request of other agencies to assist directly with containment, eradication, and recovery activities. Coordination and mitigation. CERT-PH coordinates with external organization to implement mitigation strategies and contain the incident. The incident is reviewed to determine if mitigation was successful. If yes, the incident is documented and the ticket is closed. If no, further follow-up and additional mitigation efforts are carried out. Post-incident recommendations. After the incident is resolved, CERT-PH provides recommendations for a vulnerability assessment and penetration testing of the entire infrastructure or affected website to ensure there are no lingering vulnerabilities. This streamlined the comprehensive process ensures that all cybersecurity incidents are managed effectively with the focus of validation, coordination, timely response, and through post-incident analysis to fortify security defenses. On this slide, you can see breakdown of the 1,823 incidents that were reported and handled during this period, January to July 2024. The data is presented in pie chart clearly illustrating the distribution of incident across different sectors. Number one is the government and emergency services. The largest portion of incident at 54.5 was reported in the government and emergency service sector with a total of 944 incidents. The second one is the academia. The academia sector follows, accounting for 25.1 of incidents with 457 cases. The third one is telecommunications. The telecommunications sector recorded 8.5 of incidents totaling 155. Okay. A healthcare bank and banking, number 4. And other sectors. Continuing the cyber threat landscape, this is the this chart provides a breakdown of nature of these threats, offering us a closer look prevalent types of cybersecurity incidents during this period. Number 1 is data exfiltration, data leak. The number 2 is malware and malicious files. The number 3 is compromised website and systems. Sample incident handled by CertPH. In this scenario, a government agency reports unusual data transfer activity from their internal network. They are connected. They are concerned that this activity may indicate a data exfiltration or leak, suggesting that sensitive information might have been compromised. The agency contacts CertPH seeking immediate assistance to address this mitigated potential breach. This is how we handle this. The incident begins with the government agencies contacting the incident response hotline to report suspicious data transfers activity. At the same time, the National SOC detects unusual data traffic patterns from the agency network, raising further alarms. Step 2, event validation, evaluation, and confirmation. The reported incident and SOC activity are funneled into a VC process. Our team validates the data exfiltration by reviewing network logs, analyzing data transfer pattern. We confirm that sensitive information have been unauthorizedly transferred out the network. Incident ticket assignment. A formal incident ticket is generated to document the data exfiltration and associated suspicious activities. The step 4 incident response procedure. The CertPH incident team is activated to address the breach. Initial remote response step include isolating affected network segment to prevent further data loss. If requested, our on-site IR team will deploy to conduct thorough investigation, working with the agency's IT staff to contain and secure compromised systems. Coordination and mitigation. Our team coordinates with the agency's IT department, third-party vendors, law enforcement to gather evidence and trace the exfiltration source. Mitigation efforts include patching security vulnerabilities, implementing enhanced monitoring, and data encryption. We verify that no further unauthorized data transfer occurs. Finally, we complete the detailed documentation of the incident, outlining the investigation and mitigation steps taken. The incident ticket is closed after confirming that all systems are secure and that the data exfiltration has been fully addressed. Post-incident recommendation. After resolving the incident, we recommend conduct a vulnerability assessment penetration testing of the network and data infrastructure. We also advise implementing stricter access controls, data loss prevention technologies, and regular security audits to bolster overall security and also the lessons learned. The specific of our strategic ASEAN community, we are part of the capacity building initiatives, the mutual notification to promote shared situational awareness of cyber threats, and active participation of cyber drills and exercise conducted by the different ASEAN countries. We also are part of CERT, AP CERT, and member of the APNIC as AS 151789, PHN CERT, and active participation in cyber drills by ITO APAC. We are currently in the process of applying for membership with the Forum of Incident Response, the security teams. The first is a global organization that brings together incident response teams and cybersecurity experts to improve incident management and coordinate worldwide. As a third-year fellow of FIRST, we are deeply engaged with the community, contributing and to the benefiting from the extensive network of knowledge and best practices. We also be part of active member of the Cybersecurity Alliance for Mutual Progress camp by the Korea Internet Security Agency. Other CertPH initiatives, Providing technical assistance and capacity building, CertPH offers hands-on technical training, primary to government agencies. Annual National Cyber Drill. Every year, CertPH organizes a National Cyber Drill, simulate cyber attack scenarios. Providing daily threat intelligence feed. We deliver daily threat intelligence feeds to our stakeholders. CertPH Security Advisory. In addition to threat feed, CertPH issues security advisories to alert organization about specific threats, vulnerabilities, and recommend mitigation strategies. The Hack for Gov. Hack for Gov for Student. Our Hack for Gov initiative is a nationwide cybersecurity competition designed for students. We hold Capture the Flag competition across all regions of the Philippines, allowing students from various areas to participate. Using our in-house developed platform and challenges, regional qualifying rounds are conducted, and the champions advance to compete in the ASEAN-Japan Cyber AJCC BC Capture the Flag event, which often held in Thailand. Cyber range activities. CertPH also conducts platform-based exercise, including red team, blue team, and purple team activities. These cyber range exercises provide participants with hands-on experience in both offensive and defensive cybersecurity tactics. And finally, the annual Philippine CERT Conference. In line with the National Cybersecurity Month celebrated in October in the Philippines, we host the annual Philippine CERT Conference. This event brings together international speakers and includes our annual CERT meeting and training sessions for agencies connected to the National Security Operations Center. The conference is a vital platform for knowledge sharing and collaboration within cybersecurity community. Through this initiative, CertPH not only strengthens the cybersecurity capabilities of our nation, but also foster a culture of continuous learning and improvement among stakeholders. Our commitment is to ensure a resilient and secure cyberspace for the Philippines. And that's all my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Renyo. That was a very comprehensive presentation. We don't have time for Q&A, unfortunately, because we will have to move on to the next speaker. But you'll be around until tomorrow? Okay, so please come and see him to ask questions about any of the stuff that he has presented. Thank you so much once again, everybody. All right, so we are down to our last presentation for the day. We have two speakers, actually, who will be presenting remotely. And they are based in Malaysia from Kaspersky. Can we have them online? So I think throughout the day, we started with Indonesia, then we went to Samoa, Kiribati, then Tonga, Philippines. And then now we are with listening to our two friends, Ahmad Zaidi and Ahmad Farid from Kaspersky, and they told me that they are based in Malaysia. So if they are ready, oops. Okay, if you guys are ready.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
All
Please.
right. Hello, everyone. So thank you for attending my session right now. So I'm Zaidi from Kaspersky Global Emergency Response Team, and my colleague here, Farid Fauzi, which is a security researcher from Kaspersky Global Research and Analysis Team. So the topic today is about unveiling and countering FPT lateral movement and with effective incident response technique. Thanks. All right, so this is the agenda today. So we start with introductions, and then we go through the lateral movement tech overview, and I pass to my colleague here, Farid. We talk more detail about the technique that being used by the attackers, the real world and APT attacker tractor to use the technique, this technique to attack victims, and finally we go to detection and artifact analysis. Okay, next. So just to talk about who I am. So I work as a digital forensics and response specialist at Kaspersky since 2021. I have about 13 years experience in digital forensics. My one is civil engineering, threat intelligence, and threat hunting. I have few certifications here, and I'm also part of the High Technology Crime Investigation Association, HTCR. Also member of Malaysia Cybersecurity Community, CROSEC, and also member of Malaysia Global Threat Intelligence Group, and has been for speaker or international and local events. So I pass to Farid.
Hi, so my name is Farid. I'm from the Great Kaspersky, which is Global Research and Analysis team. So I work as security researchers, and yeah, I have 5 years experience in malware analysis and reverse engineering specifically. So yeah, I'm also the active member of the ROSAC Malaysia Cybersecurity community. I'm also the part of the member of Malaysian Global Threat Intelligence, and in the meantime, I'm a speaker and trainer for the local events. Yep.
Right. So we continue with my team. So basically, just an overview. We are located around the world for good. So for me, I'm responsible for all kind of attacks. So any kind of attack or incident happen in APEC. So it goes through me first. So here I am based in Malaysia, and we have few others click around the world. So part of our activity like incident response, data forensics, analysis. Also, we are conducting trainings and workshop. Also tabletop exercise. Pass to back to Farid.
So for the great team, which is a global research analysis team, we have a consist of about 40 members right now. So I'm focusing on the APAC members. So we have around 6 teammates in the APAC. So we are basically a collective of cybersecurity researcher that's specializing in APT hunting, research about the APT, advanced persistent threat. We're tracking some cyber espionage, cyber criminal around the world. So the outcome of our research and analysis is we provide to our VIP clients, our own exclusive threat intelligence. So it's containing some sort of threat technique and procedure, and the indicator of compromise, so that they are being protected further ahead from the cyber threat.
So we go through about lateral movement. Maybe we have seen a lot of lateral movement when conducting incident response. So some people saying it's a lateral movement. In other words, it's also about the pivoting, something like that. So it's almost similar, but when we talk about lateral movement, is where the attacker they manage to compromise one or the host or system in the environment, and then they start to move around through the network over the network. So how do they detect it? So normally they use any kind of tools like RDP and others. So we talk more about that later on. And also this kind of attacks, technique has been used a lot by ransomware characters and APT. So next. So just I told about before, so they can have several options where they are compromise one of the single host in the environment. So one of the purpose is to gain access to target database or network resource, and maybe they can use it to send emails, phishing emails or spear phishing emails by utilizing one of the hosts, and maybe they can provide scanning through internal networks and deploy malware for stealing password or ransomware throughout the SMB or any kind of technique. Yeah. So when we could talk about the lateral movement, so we have a lot of phase of the attack. So we start with execution, defense evasion, credential access, discovery, and lateral movement, data harvesting, C2, and impact. So when we talk about the table kill chain, this is the one hit, and we already monitor a lot of tools. We've seen a lot of tools being used by the attackers, and right now we are only target on specific phase. We talk about lateral movement. So you can see here a lot of tools. I didn't manage to put everything. So this is the one that we always see during our investigation. All right. Pass to you.
Yeah, so yeah, we move to the lateral movement techniques, which is involved with a lot of technicals. So lateral movement is actually a tactic that attacker used to move through the network, specifically in the internet network. So it will involve a lot of multiple techniques. And yeah, when we talk about lateral movement, typically it will mix with the normal network traffic, with the network behavior, normal network behavior, because of it is the same thing as the network, as the internal user works. So in the lateral movement, there is we can say that the average time to breakout time from the initial access to the lateral movement, from the first compromise to lateral movement. So based on our research, based on our incident in the Kaspersky, we found out that it's around less than 2 hours. So it's about 1 hour and 58 minutes. And this is the crucial part of defenders or threat analysts to be detected once their network have been compromised. So we can see that from the initial access to lateral movement, they have around 2 hours to detect and to protect their network. So the first technique that I want to highlight is SMB, which is a network protocol, server message block, which the protocol is intended to access files and printers in the network. So attacker may abuse this protocol by using a pre-built command such as copy.exe. So basically, the attacker would copy some contents from a folder to a remote host. For example, they would like to copy their tools or their malware to the victim. So from that, they can drop any malicious file, and at the end they run the malicious files, and yeah, and you will be compromised. So we can see here in the figure, the three figure, we have a source and destination. So basically in the lateral movement, they will involve point A and point B. The point A will be the source and the point B will be the destination where the target, the next computer target. So here we can see that Windows event log would record every details of anything that's involved with the SMB. We can see that here they are accessing share folder IPC, the IP address that connect to the SMB, and the details of the user. So many PT group, the threat actor use SMB to, for example, here we have 3 examples. The example 1 is they using SMB to create a scheduled task. So scheduled task is a persistent technique that they can execute a payload or malicious software remotely. So they from here, from the commands, the yellow command here, we can see that they are executing some of the PowerShell script daily. So yeah, they set the scheduled task manually with the username, the domain, and the passwords. So this is one of the technique that they tend to do to perform some code execution remotely. Another example is they are using Windows service to run the process, the malicious process. And another example is they're using Windows management instrumentation to create a new process. For example, here we can see that we can create a new process remotely from another computer to another computer. So here we can see that we are able to execute malware remotely. So this is what we call as a lateral movement. And another example that we often see in our incident response is attacker often use Impact framework. It is a red team tools that open source in the GitHub. So attacker often abuse this Impact framework, which is they are using SMB exec module. So in the event log, when they using this SMB exec module, we can see that this service name will be created by the module. And if you are a forensic analyst, event log, security event log is one of your crucial evidence to be looking at. So they will create a service name BTO, and you will see the command line here as a service file name. But the new version of SMB exec, you will see they are improving their code, and somehow you will not see BTO, but instead you will see the new command line, which is they are using now a random batch name here. And also, in addition to SMB technique, APNIC also mounts a shares folder using the pre-built Windows utility called net.exe. So what they do, they will run this command with the IP address of the remote that they are targeting. So they have their the victim credentials. So they have their password and the username. So they will rotate the credential over time to avoid detection, because of when they using a long time of a credential, it will likely to be detected. So this is one of the creativity of the attacker to rotate the credential over time. And then after they mount, they access the shared folder, they will copy the malware, the script, they will access your sensitive information. And then one of the things that they would do is perform a scheduled task. So we've seen a lot of APT group that they abusing scheduled tasks in the SMB technique. So what they do is they create a scheduled task, they execute it, and then they delete in the network share. So they repeatedly utilize this scheduled tasks and also delete it to avoid detection. So in the picture, we can see that the Windows event log are recording some of information when someone accessing our mount share. So for example, here it's saying that there is some user from 10.00.100 accessing documents. So this is one of the evidence that we might want to take a look. And yeah, the event log not only from the security event log, we can also take change from the SMB operational. We have these event IDs and the sysmon if you are deploying sysmon in your organization. So basically, to detect lateral movement via SMB, we track interaction between the network folder, any remote login events in the Windows event log, and any unusual connection over the SMB. So we also in our slide, we also provide the Sigma rules. So you can search on the Google or on the GitHub, where the Sigma rules will be provided open source. So if you are a forensic analyst or security researcher, you might want to interest with this evidence and the Sigma rules. And if you are performing some forensic analysis, this is the files and evidence that you may interest, such as when SMB is involving with the net executable execution, we have a prefetch here. We can take a look at the jump list of the net.exe. We can take a look at the registry, such as SimCache, BAM and DAM, MKH, and many more. And one of the interesting part is the mount points too, which is it will record any information about the map shares. And the second method that I would like to highlight is RDP, which is Remote Desktop Protocol. So attacker often abuse RDP by using the valid accounts. So they might brute forcing, or they might obtain the credential previously from maybe phishing email, from the stolen account or dumb credential activities. So if you look into the picture at the left side here, so once the threat actor have compromised a workstation, they would try to move around in the network, maybe using SMB, maybe using RDP. So in the picture here, we are using RDP. So what they do, once they compromise the workstation, they will try to enable the RDP by allow the port 3389, which is RDP port, to allow any RDP communication, internal and external. So this is typical what threat actor will do after they compromise one machine, they try to connect to other machine using RDP, but before they connect to RDP, they would need to enable the RDP protocol first in the compromised workstation. So when we talk about RDP detection, we need some event logs. There is a lot of event logs involving when an RDP have been established. So for example, here we have a security, we have RDP manager operational, we have a local session. So this is your cheat sheet when you try to analyze, try to threat hunting or anything involving the RDP. And as you can see in the bottom, the 1149 events, which is from remote connection manager operational, you can see who are logging to your RDP session and which network address of the origin. So from this, we can correlate which computer that performing the lateral movement in our network. And yeah, as evidence, this is one of important part of forensic analysis. We have a file system. We can also observe any creation of prefetch file from mstsc.exe. We can also take a look at the jump list from the automatic destination folder. And if you are want to take a look at any cache of the RDP, we can passing and reconstruct the bitmap cache. So it will show you a little bit of a picture of the session of the RDP, but it's not a completely session like a video. It's just a cache one. And yeah, it's resides in the terminal server client folder in the particular user folder. And yeah, like I said, there is a point A and point B. There is a source and destination. If you are analyze the destination, which is the victim of the lateral movement, you may want to take a look at any prefetch that regarding RDP clip or TS team and yeah. And for the registry, we have anti-user.dat. We have a system shin catch. Just the same like the SMB. We have a, but it will different executable that you are looking for. And besides RDP, besides SMB, attacker also abuse PowerShell. So PowerShell is a common tool in the red team, in the threat actor. They are abusing this common and the Windows utility called PowerShell. So what PowerShell can do, they with the PowerShell, the threat actor will try to lateral movement using it, try to fingerprint, try to recognize any information that's important to their campaign, try to maybe upload data to the cloud for data stealing. So with the PowerShell, for example, here in the picture, we can see that with the PowerShell, we can abuse them to perform some proxy connection. We can analyze, we can gather some services that are currently running in our victim computer. And also we can further performing lateral movement using so many technique here. We have a DCOM, we have a PS exec, we have a WMI payload. So and at the bottom one there, this is Empire C2 framework, which is the old C2 framework, but it has capability to perform the lateral movement using the PowerShell. And to detect PowerShell, it is simple to analyze the event log also, but we need to ensure first is it the PowerShell logging is enabled, because the PowerShell logging that critical one is which is PowerShell operational, it is not enabled by default. So we need to ensure that the PowerShell logging is enabled. But if it is disabled, so the visibility will be less. But somehow it could be helpful enough to have some insight about the PowerShell event log. So what we monitor, we basically monitor the modification of execution policies, and we take a look at the network connection that initiated by the PowerShell process. So from here we have a Sigma rule. So what the Sigma will try to scan is they try to take a look at any argument of the PowerShell, such as hidden, encoded command, non-interactive. This is a very favorite popular by amongst the attacker to use this PowerShell suspicious argument. And when we talk about PowerShell, there is another technique, we call it PowerShell remote. So they are leveraging WinRM protocol. So what is WinRM? WinRM is a Windows remote management. So this protocol, this service can allow user to interact with the remote system. So when an attacker want to pivot to another PC, they can use the PowerShell remote, and when they execute some PowerShell command, it will run under the WinRM service. So this is what the three examples how they are using PowerShell to execute command remotely. So every command, every of these command are running via the WinRM protocol, WinRM service. So to detect WinRM, we are basically just similar to the other technique. We are take a look at the event logs, which is security event logs, and WinRM operational. So this is the crucial log that we want to take a look. We hunting for any creation of service or any file transfer. So if you are a forensic analyst, this is the files that might catch your interest, such as the PowerShell console history, the prefetch one, and so on. So another technique that's popular amongst the attacker is WMI, which is oftenly they are using impact framework again, with another module, which is WMI exec. So from this module, they can execute any command. For example, picture here, if you can see. So once they execute the WMI exec, they have our terminal, and from that they can proceed to perform any command that they want, such as who am I, loading their malware, and many more. So to detect WMI, we can leverage some of the event log also, or maybe we can take a look at the output file that generated by the WMI exec, which is they tend to write in the C folder or admin folder. And you can also track the usage of the WMI by supply this command. So this is a command that we can take a look at the our victim endpoint. And yeah, in the event log also, there will be a record of the execution of WMI. And as you can see here, we have a security event log that can help us in detecting the WMI activities, and we have WMI activity operational. So what they do, they will record some of the crucial information, such as the command that executing WMI exec. And yeah, similar with the others technique, we have a WMIC prefetch, we have a WMI repository, which is it will have containing the information about the WMI persistence. So you may want to take a look on this artifact during your analysis. And as a use case, there is a Chinese APT group that are using WinRM and WMIC as part of their technique and tactics. So what they do, they connect to the VPN to avoid their origin IP, and then they will use some of remote control agent, which is Zabbix, one of the remote control software, and they are using this remote control as their command and control and their persistent. And another technique is PS-exec. We can see that PS-exec is almost not every, but most of the threat actor are using PS-exec as a pattern of pivoting from PC to PC. So this is the event log, and this is the evidence that we may want to take a look. So I'm going to speed up my presentation. And finally, we have SSH, which is by default is enabled in the Linux, but in the Windows, it's not by default, but attackers are using the SSH to perform the lateral movement. And yeah, this is the evidence to take a look. And finally, we have remote tools. So attackers often abuse TeamViewer, AnyDesk to perform the pivoting. And this is the log file that we may want to take a look, such as we have their IP address, the configuration, and so on. And then the remote ng VNC. So to counter attack the lateral movement, we may want to deploy some EDR solutions, to deploy some behavior analysis technologies such as UEBA and UBA. And yeah, this is one of the list that suggestion that to counter attack when involving with the lateral movement. So I pass to the Zaidi for the detection and the response.
Okay, just because we don't have much time, so I will speed up. So basically, how we detect, we utilize Sigma rules. So I know all of you know more about Sigma rules. So we you can see more on the slide later. We have already shared the slide. Next. So it's how you can convert Sigma rules utilizing the normal. You can convert to PowerShells, convert to any kind of tool detection you have. Yeah, you can use this to this site. Uncoded.io. Next. Also, the other part is utilizing the Suricata and the deep packet inspection. So you get all your network guide here, they know about it. So no need to talk much. Next. So also you can use Suricata as an event viewer, utilizing the some script and some JQ, and you can sort it out and convert to ELK later. Next. Yeah, okay, next. Also, the other one I want to highlight is the ELKS and other free tools. You can download it, and by Stamos networks, you can use to for detection because come with the detection specific detection rules for the lateral movement. Next. So next, the same thing you can download from Suricata. And how do it artifact analysis? I think no need to just skip this part. Yeah, utilizing CAP. Next. APT Hunter also you can use to do scanning and to detect APT movement throughout the Windows event logs and others. Next. And also you know about Hayabusa. Hayabusa you come with Sigmas, you come with their own detection rules, so you can use it for analysis and detections. Next. On this is a part of evidence, so you can see the slide later. We just skip around about this. So it's about the evidence you can collect to do investigations. Yeah, next. Some of the Linux evidence here for detections. Next. Next. Okay. So we can download this our report. You can download this report for because we put a lot of techniques here. You can download and see how you can implement that for your monitoring and detection in your environment. Right. Next. That's all for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you, Ahmad Zaidi and Farid, for the presentation. I know there's a lot of stuff in the slides, and towards the end they were rushing really quickly because we have another session coming up. We don't have time for Q&A, but their slides is on the conference website. It's very comprehensive. There's a lot of details, and there is additional documentation. And I think they have their contact as well, so feel free to reach out to them. What we have done today is we have shared with you some insights about certs who are operating at the national level. But in this presentation, you see the kind of work that is done by the vendor teams in terms of doing in-depth investigation and sharing this information widely with the community and so on and so forth. Maybe the content is not for everybody, but that's a taste and sample of the kind of work that is being done by the technical community. So we have reached the end of our session. There's another session coming up. So before we end, I would like to thank all the speakers from the first session and the second session. And I also would like to thank all of you and those who are joining us online for participating in this event. Hopefully, we'll be able to organize another one at the next APNIC event. So thank you once again, and thank you for the tech team for your support. I'll see you guys around. Thank you.